Towson, Baltimore, and on the short week and the Dolphins and the long weekend. And one thing that has been hitting my timeline, not just the tweets of this guy down there at Compass Point Golf Course, covering all things local college basketball, but college basketball in general. Robert Kennedy joins us. He is, of course, Buckets and Birds out on Twitter, and one of our defending champions around here, getting him straight for night golf down at Compass Point this weekend in funky Pasadena. But it's college basketball season, man. All the midnight, moonlight madnesses and previews and coaches and excitement getting ready. We're going to be playing some basketball here in the next 2 weeks, right?
Absolutely, Nestor. Yeah, it's hard to believe. It's upon us, and November 10th is when they'll all kick off regular season. Some exhibition games a little bit before that. I have one this coming Saturday. Actually, Towson is the last minute. They've scheduled a exhibition game. They were part of the groups that were allowed by the NCAA to schedule an extra game, an exhibition, because the funds are going to go to hurricane relief for Houston and Puerto Rico and Florida and places like that. So they'll actually be playing Bucknell, and which will be a really good matchup because Bucknell's was by far unanimous pick to win the Patriot League, which Navy and Loyola are part of.
See, I'm an old guy with like Bo Smoka. I remember when Bucknell and Towson used to play every year up and down when Charlie was the coach up there in Lewisburg. I always get that confused. Which one is it?
Lewisburg.
That's where the prison is, right? I mean, I had a girlfriend up in Buffalo back in the 1980s, and I've driven Route 15 past Clyde Peeling's Reptile Land and Mike Messina's house in Montoursville up there. But, Bucknell used to be a regular stop at the Towson Center during the Terry Truax era, right?
That's what I hear. A few of the guys that have been around for years and years, have mentioned that. But, they were big rivals, and, it'll be it's exhibition, but it'll be a really actually good game because, both teams are, like I said, picked to do well. Towson is picked number 2 in the CAA preseason and Bucknell number 1. So that'll be good. But, they're all the other teams are, they've begun their practices. November 10th is going to be tip-off for nationwide for all the teams, and most of them will be playing on the road, opening up. One local game that'll be really good that night, actually 2 games, such as Navy is hosting the Veterans Classic down, and they bring in a really good field. They have Alabama and Memphis playing in an early game, and then Navy plays Pittsburgh in the second game.
That's going to be a big after. I mean, those are big-time schools.
They are, and this is something Navy's done the last few years. In the past, they've had Texas and North Carolina and Duke there in the past, and this, I think, the 3rd or 4th year of doing this, and it's a chance. What they do is they bring in these other schools and they kind of immerse them into the what life is like at the service academies. So the student athletes, as NCAA still calls them, the basketball players, as everyone else calls them, will actually get to spend a day on the Naval Academy and kind of go to the classes, go to the mess hall with them, and kind of see what
a day in the life,
guys
right?
Actually go through, so it's kind of a neat thing.
Boy, that'd be educational for me at 49, let alone if I were 19, right?
Absolutely, yeah. So it'll be that'll be probably that's probably where I will be found, maybe on that November 10th kickoff is catching both those games, since most everyone else will be on the road.
You mentioned Navy, and obviously our partnership here at Coppin State Sports. Want to send everybody the big word that we're going to be doing the Coppin State games here, men's and some women's games as well, as Juan Dixon and other coaches from the Eagles joining us. You can learn more about that at CoppinStateSports.com. And, of course, we're on the line with Robert Kennedy, who runs that Compass Point Golf Course down there in Pasadena, working on his golf game here, even when the football game's not going well. It is the best place to play this fall and winter. Lots of events, friendly folks. They got some night golf going on this week, and that's all at CompassPointGolf.com. I mentioned Coppin State. They're playing Navy. Navy is playing Morgan State. We talked so much about Maryland taking on Towson in football last week, I think, and, Coppin going on the road and taking on all these money games. Navy's another one of those, local programs here that, as you've pointed out, has this pit thing going on the weekend of November 10th, which is the Ravens' bye weekend as well. But they're also playing a bunch of local. They play Delaware. They're always sort of up and down the court. They're playing Washington as well in November. So they're playing a lot of local games.
Yeah, they do. And you've touched on the local ones there with Delaware. Will actually be a really, really good matchup. Delaware will be coming there to play them and everything. So that's and of course Delaware comes in later in the season in the area to play Towson. But that'll be a really good matchup. And of course they go on the road, like you said, for some of the money games. I think they're at Miami. They're and a few other big ones that they're going to out west. And but yeah, they they've got a really, as far as in the Patriot League there, it's like we said, we talked about Bucknell being the favorite, but everyone else it's kind of up for grabs there, and Navy's done well there. Ed Chillis has built a really good program, so it's that'll be something to see that weekend of the 10th, and then like I said, to see Delaware come in there as well.
Robert Kennedy is Buckets and Birds out at Compass Point and out on Twitter as well. It's basketball season. He talks golf with us in the spring and the summer, but I really know him through his association and being on press desks all around the area, from Towson to Loyola to Coppin to Morgan. And certainly, I guess one thing that I wanted to bring up with you, I see that Navy is playing Penn in Philadelphia in the middle of November. I have never been to the Palestra, Robert Kennedy, and I've gotten into this with Dick Girardi up in Philadelphia, a bunch of the Philadelphia guys, anyone that loves college basketball. John Feinstein and I were sitting next to each other for the disaster up in Minnesota the other day, and I know he's a big Palestra guy. Sell me on the Palestra, Kennedy. You've been there, right?
I have, only once, but it's one of those ones that you'll never forget your experience there. And it's been probably it's been every bit of 20 years since I've been there. I was actually there covering a Wright State game, believe it or not, back when I was working media, in the Ohio area. And
Wright State opens their season against Loyola, right? 2 weeks from now, right? That is true. Wright State is playing Loyola here at Reitz on the 10th of November. So there's your little Wright State plug for you.
I did not, that got by me somehow. I did not realize.
There it is, Wright State. That's why you listen to the show, Robert.
I need to tune in and learn more.
Dude, I have schedules in front of me. I have the internet. It's the damnedest thing. I mean, I didn't have this back in the 90s. I had to fly solo, with books and stuff, big books too, not even the little books. The internet's kind of cool.
It is, and I think it's here to stay. I don't think it's a fad. So they say it's going to be around for a while. Yeah.
Loyola has weird games. They play at Boise State Thanksgiving week. They play at Florida and Gainesville in December. They play at Milwaukee. They have some really weird road games. They play at the University of Missouri, Kansas City. Who knows? They're going to get barbecue. Good for them.
That is, if nothing else, they'll get that out of the trip. But UMKC is actually a really good program. They've, I think, they always contend in their conference out there. But yeah, going back to the Palestra, it's such an old style classic arena. You go in there and everything creaks when you walk, and you're walking through a museum as far as the pictures and everything on the concourse and the trophies, and it's something every basketball. If you sat next to John Feinstein, I'm sure he told you more than once. It's something every basketball fan probably needs to experience once in their life. And there was I forget who it was last year. Shame on me, but it was one of the big coaches. It was Tom Izzo, Michigan State. Michigan State went into play. Penn there, and you normally wouldn't see Michigan State playing at Penn. But Tom Izzo had said, this was during the Big Ten tournament when he was talking about their schedule and everything, that he wanted his players to experience it. Said, it was something he remembered as a player that, was unforgettable, and he thinks everyone should do it at once. And so he took his team in there and they played. And so it's just that type of atmosphere once you go in there. And, Philadelphia has done such a good job with the Big Five and all the teams playing each other locally. And it's definitely an event and a venue people should get to if they get a chance to.
Yeah, I got the schedule up in front of me. I'm trying to find some games, but Navy plays up there on November 15th. There's 37 games there this winter, Robert. 37 games in Philadelphia at the Palestra. I don't have much left on sort of my sports bucket list. There's a couple places I want to go. I flew over on the way to Minnesota the other day. We flew a direct route over Chicago. I looked down and I saw Touchdown Jesus. I saw South Bend. I saw the stadium from the plane, believe it or not, as you're descending into Chicago. But, I mean, other than actually going into one of these gyms and experiencing things, the Palestra might be the last college basketball place that has been. I haven't been to Cameron. I had so many opportunities to go back when Maryland was there. I guess it's not meant to be. It's not like it's going to wreck my life if I don't go there. But the Palestra thing's kind of eating at me a little bit.
Absolutely. Yeah. Maybe we need to talk and make that a road trip or something.
November 15th, 1 o'clock, Penn Quakers, Navy Midshipmen. What do you think of that?
I think maybe we might need to make that work.
All right, I'm looking at that. That could be a 1 o'clock game. That's a Wednesday. They would play an afternoon game on a Wednesday? That doesn't make any sense.
That's like a baseball getaway game.
No, it says 7 o'clock on the Navy website. It says 1 o'clock on the Palestra website. They got their days and their nights mixed up.
I will make it my job to look into that before the next time we talk and get you some details on it. Maybe we can make that happen.
Cheesesteaks will be eaten. There's no doubt about that. Robert Kennedy joining us here. He is our college basketball insider. We are the voice of Coppin State sports here this year. Also partnering with UMBC as they're trying to move into their new arena from the RAC, and there's been some construction issues going on over there as well, but no construction issues down at Compass Point, right, Robert? You got night golf going on this weekend. How did that craft beer thing there go for you, pal?
Oh, it went great. We had a turnout of over 60-some players, and they tasted all the samples and asked for more, and the weather was beautiful for it. So the breweries, we had some Jailbreak Brewery, couple of Flying Dog Brewery, and a few others out here. So
any pumpkin involved? Were there pumpkin beers being poured? I'm sure there were.
I'm sure there were. Being the fact that I was helping run things, I did not get to sample anything, but I was trying to make sure everyone went where they were supposed to. But I'd be shocked if there weren't some pumpkin spice flavors or something out there. So.
I'm going to get over to King Discount Liquors and figure that out. I have not had a pumpkin beer this whole season, so I need to change that. And I know for this night golf thing, it sounds a little freaky for me. By the way, I watched night football at Dundalk High School last week. That was kind of weird, too, like lights on my high school field. But lights on a golf course and playing night ball, I'm just making this up, but are the balls sort of day glow? Do you have like some sort of like green color Charlie Finley ball or orange or something?
Yeah, they are. And before we get away from that, congratulations on your enshrinement there last week on that for the Hall of Fame. So that was
I feel enshrined.
Honor. But we do have glow in the dark balls, and they're basically kind of activated when you hit it with the club. It lights up for and stays on for a couple minutes, so you go down in the fairway and find it. We have some highlighters out on the course that kind of almost like light up like a runway, kind of show you where you're aiming at and everything. And it's so we do like 9 holes in daytime. You come in, you get something to eat, get a few beverages in you, and you go back out. And we play the course a little bit shorter than it normally is. We don't expect people to hit it 250 yards and go find it in the dark. So it's the second 9 in the dark is made a little bit easier, but it's a blast.
Well, the ball lights up. I mean, if the regular ball would just light up on a sunny day when you go into the rough, you'd be better off, right?
Right, and find it in the trees.
Or if it had a bell on it or a little whistle. GPS locator in some cases.
They're making those nowadays. I saw this company the other day was advertising 2 golf balls for $50 because they have GPS. They have GPS locators in them. Where
You'll never lose it, right?
Yeah, and unless it goes in the water, then good luck in getting it back. But you'll know it's in the water, and it's up to you whether you go in after it or not.
Go dredge your ball. Well, Compass Point Golf is there for you down in Pasadena. Robert Kennedy does all things buckets and birds for us, including basketball all season long and golf. How long will the course be open? I'm just is there a temperature? Is there a frost level where you can't play? And I'm sure you'll still take a reservation on a December weekend, right? And just hoping that the weather's good, right?
We're open year round, and if there's not snow on the ground, we're open. We get players out here when it's 25 degrees and everything. They bundle up and they go out, and we'll let them go. We're open all 18 holes as long as there's not snow on the ground, and as soon as the snow melts, we open back up. So we don't really close down like some of the nicer private clubs, that don't want their grass disturbed during the winter and everything. So it's not unusual at all to get some nice playable days in December in the 60s, and then every year it seems like we get that spell in February where we get a 60 or 70 degree day pop out of nowhere. And last year we had actually several of those. So we're open year round. Our pro shop's open year round for holiday shopping. I was in a store the other day, saw decorations. It's hard to believe that's coming, but we do gift cards and merchandise available for the golfer and on your Christmas list. So absolutely, every day of the year you can come out here.
You got it. He is Robert Kennedy. He is Buckets and Birds out on Twitter, and our guest here. And, of course, you can find him out at Compass Point Golf. We'll get together next week, talk some more college basketball. Going to have games starting up a week after next, Robert. So it's getting down to the nitty-gritty here. We'll check in again with you next week.
Sounds good, Nestor. We'll talk to you then.
All right. Hopefully got better news on the purple end than we had in Minnesota on Sunday. A dreadful game, a dreadful performance by the Ravens, and certainly the injuries mounting. We've been discussing that all week. We'll be discussing lots of Miami Dolphins stuff as well as we get ready for Thursday night and the short week around here and the World Series, which, you know, I love these sunset nights at Dodger Stadium. Wish I could be a part of it. It is my favorite stadium and favorite stadium experience. And if you're watching this week, you'll know why. It's pretty simple. You can find me out on the buyatoyota.com audio vault 24 hours a day from anywhere in the world on your mobile device by downloading the TuneIn Radio app. We do come in crystal clear from anywhere in the world. Our morning newspaper ships digitally to your email inbox free of charge each and every morning. That's powered up by Planet Fitness and PlanetFitness.com, where it's always $10 a month to get in the best shape of your life. Dennis is going to be here on Thursday driving you home, getting you ready as a pregame for Thursday night from 3 until 5. It is the SSV on WNST, hosted by Dennis Colatzos, who, of course, runs Coons Florida Security Boulevard, and they sponsor our WNST tech service for better or worse, good news, bad news. Hopefully we get some good news on Jeremy Maclin. We need the dudes. We need to get some guys back out on the field for Joe Flacco on Thursday night against the Fish. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Snapchat, Instagram, streaming live on our Facebook as well as our YouTube WNSTV channel. I am Nestor. We are WNST.net, AM 1570, and WNST Towson, Baltimore, and we never stop talking Baltimore sports.